The following podcast is brought to you by Iconic Nation Media. Welcome to Season 5 of Level Up Podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Levy. I'm here to guide you on a journey of personal growth and fulfillment. Join me as we delve into the challenges of both business and personal life, aiming to discover our true selves and connect more deeply with the world around us. On this podcast, we'll explore the topics that inspire and empower us to become the best version of ourselves. From book reviews to interviews with iconic individuals, we'll have insightful conversations that resonate with your journey. And a big thank you to our sponsors, the Boys and Girls Club of America, Greater Conejo Valley, and Levy's Deli for supporting the show and helping us bring these valuable discussions to you. Please share, rate, and review the podcast. And thank you so much for listening. You can also leave your comments at Kimberly Levy on social media. Thank you for your feedback and thank you for listening. Hey guys, welcome back to Level Up. And today I'm going to talk to you about not forcing shit. Okay, this is one of the most important things in life I think that we can all learn from. And I've never talked with you guys about it. So today's the day. So buck up, Buttercup. Here we go, along for a ride. Now, first of all, before we get down to business, I want to first say that I hope your summer's going well. Basically, I'm just trying to enjoy my summer with my kids. I'm trying to really lean into summering hard with them. And we went to Disneyland, which was amazing. It was the first time I think, well, no, it's probably like the second time that I've really enjoyed Disneyland because, I don't know, it's just kind of growing on me. I'm more relaxed. I kind of know the lay of the land. There was like 15 or 16 of us. It was pretty awesome. And it was for my nephew's birthday. So happy birthday to Skylar. He's the big 4. Yes, 4 years old. And he went on his first roller coaster. It was so funny. He was like traumatized, but he was such a trooper. And anyway, so yeah, we've been having lots of great swim days, not being overscheduled. Just the vibe is just kind of chilling a little bit more this summer. So yeah, I hope your summer's off to an awesome start. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys about not forcing stuff is because a bunch of people canceled on me for my birthday trip, and I'm a little bit bummed, but at the same time, people are adding. There's more people that are coming, so kind of like a roster swap, so to speak. But you know what the whole vibe is of the whole trip is just don't force it. Don't force it. Like, I'm going to Cabo for my 40th, and I hope people can make it. And if you can't, for whatever your reasons are, it's all good. And that's the whole vibe. So I've actually kind of asked a couple friends just in seeing that there's friction for them, like they were trying to make it work. And I'm like, don't come. It's too much. You know, some people it's too much because they have dogs, they have kids, there's, you know, a family health issue. There's just things that come up for people, and it's all good. So the whole vibe is don't force it. And the reason why I think this is so important is because it actually is true of absolutely everything in life. So when I'm talking about don't force it, don't force business deals, don't force friendships, don't force a job opportunity. Like, I think you have to know when to put on the gas and like be really persistent about certain things. But especially now and the older I get, I'm much more in a season of like, just don't force shit. If it's meant for me, it's mine. If it's not, it's going to swim past me and it's all good. And I did get that advice from my father-in-law. We were talking about some big real estate deals going on and stuff. And he basically said, like, I don't force it. And I've watched him, like, case in point, when we bought our house, he basically was like, you know, give them this offer, tell them to shut down the bids. And if you don't get this one, there's always going to be the next deal. And I think that is so true and so important. So I think one of the reasons why it's so important is like, in addition to just, you know, destiny and like being more of like the mindset of like what's meant for me is meant for me kind of thing, which I do think is important. I think, you know, it's interesting when things are meant to be, they tend to fall in place easier. And that doesn't mean they'll always work out, but when things are meant to be, you'll notice that things will fall into place and you don't have to force it. Now, I do believe when you start forcing things and say you force, a certain deal to close or whatever, you might go down a path that maybe is not as good. And maybe you look back and say, wow, maybe the universe was telling me something. Maybe I shouldn't have been forcing this. So I think there's all of that is like one big part of it is like just kind of that energy of like, what's meant for me is meant for me. What's not is not, and that's all good. Now, the other thing that I think is super important is sometimes when you're forcing things, like, again, this can be even like it could be business, it could be personal, friendships, whatever it may be, like you can come across as desperate. And I don't know anyone that likes somebody that's desperate. Like, desperate energy is one of the biggest turnoffs to me and anyone else. Like, nobody likes that feeling of being chased by somebody that is desperate. So for me, that is like not my vibe. I don't chase friendships. I don't chase status. I don't even really chase money, to be honest with you. Like, I'm kind of like, I play it cool. Some of the best and biggest opportunities I've had, I'm like very much like take it or leave it. Huge deal put in front of me. You have to give that energy, even if you're literally faking it, of like, you can take it or you can leave it. You have to always give that energy. It's super important. And it's actually really, it's super important in business, just as important as like if you're in the dating scene too, especially as a woman in dating. Like, you have to always be able to give the vibe of like, I can take it or I can leave it. I don't need it. Okay. I think that is so much more of a turn on to people. And like, when people sense you're not desperate and you're not like, oh my God, will you talk to me? Oh, please give me this deal. Give me this offer. Like, when you're not like begging people to be your friend or begging people to hang out with you or begging people to come on your trip or begging people to, do ABC things, like, you'll be surprised. They pick up on the fact that you can take it or leave it, and it changes the whole course of the game. And I just think that this is one of the most underutilized, most important things that you could possibly do. And I just, like, even when they were asking me for tennis, do you want to play in a game? I'm like, you know what? I'm good either way. I would like to play, but I don't want to like play if all stakes are like so high where it's like stressful. I kind of was just like, I can take it or I can leave it. And the reason is because like, I don't want to seem like, oh my God, I'm desperate to do this. And like, I'm not. Like, that's the thing. I'm not desperate. Even if you are desperate, let's just say that you really need a business deal to go through. That's even more important that you do not force a deal. Like, case in point, another business example, we put on an offer on real estate. They declined. And then several months later came back and asked us to come, to close the deal at our original price. They had a realization that our offer was in fact a good offer, and we just kind of moved on from it. And they came back and they were like, we actually want to take you up on your offer if it still stands, and we end up closing the deal, right? So there's just so many examples. And like, even in the case of, say, a negotiation, if you give off the like, I could take it or leave it. Again, this could be the biggest offer. Maybe it's a job offer. This could literally be like, let's just pretend it's a 7-figure job offer and you were like shitting your pants. Like, holy shit, this is the biggest thing I've ever been presented with. It is even more important in those moments to stay cool. You have to literally act like you have 5 other offers just as good, even if you don't. Because why? They will sense it. And like, it comes through in negotiations, because if you're so desperate to close something, you might just be so focused on closing it that you miss a big detail. So for example, maybe you don't go through your contract and, with a fine tooth comb, and you don't really review it in full detail, and you're so excited about it, you just sign on the dotted line. And then maybe in a year you look back and you're like, oh, I made a mistake. Like, I rushed that process and I actually missed something really important. And that's happened to me too. So that's what I'm saying. It's super important. And like, I guess going into like the friendships thing, it's like, if somebody can't come to something that you really wanted them to come to, like, maybe you're just not a big priority for them. And like, you should probably just face that now. Or maybe they just have stuff going on that has literally nothing to do with you, which is entirely plausible. So I think it's a combination of understanding that like people have to focus on themselves first always, and they should. And like if it's not right for them, you shouldn't be the one putting the pressure on, because it doesn't make them want to hang out with you more. It doesn't make them want to do the thing more. It just puts you in a light of like, okay, they're like actually kind of desperate and a little bit pathetic, and like I definitely do not want to be there, you know? So the vibe is, especially, you know, for 2024 and beyond, the vibe is all about not forcing shit. Do not force deals. Put out offers. You know, again, maybe it's a business dealing, like put out an offer, put yourself out there, absolutely. And if someone gives you some pushback, that doesn't mean, oh, okay, I shouldn't continue to pursue this. It means like answer the questions, navigate everything the way that, you know, to the best of your ability. And if they come around, then fine. And if they don't, like maybe it's just not meant to be. And if you believe like, no, it's really meant to be, and like you need to do a follow-up, then do it in a way that's like super not desperate energy. Just the most important thing is never be desperate. Like you always need to be super confident in yourself and know that there will always be another business deal. You know, you can't force someone into being your friend. You can't force certain things, nor should you want to. So I think for me, that's been kind of one of the biggest things that I've learned in the last couple of years that I've really taken on. And yeah, I'm just like, the energy is so like, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you're coming on for the ride, awesome. If you're not meant to be, all good. Like no hard feelings. And then genuinely don't have hard feelings about it. So I just think that that's the most attractive thing. Like there was another huge job opportunity that I had, and like the fit may not have been exactly right. And like, instead of me being like, oh no, like this could totally be right, blah, blah, blah. Like I know the skills and my abilities. Like I know exactly what I bring to the table. And like, if this isn't the right fit because there's a different background they need, all good, you know, all good. Because I know that if I do want some other huge business opportunity or big job or something like that, like I know what I bring to the table. I have like complete confidence in all of my skills and all of my experience, that I don't need to chase things, you know, like I just don't. And I think sometimes what that does is when you kind of let something go that you were chasing, you kind of get left with like a feeling of like, now what? Or you're a little bit restless. But I think the other part of this is like leaning into the unknown by doing nothing. So that's another huge thing that you should take from this, is like, when you're not sure about something, do not respond, do not react, and do not feel pressured to decide. And again, this could be for absolutely anything in your life. Like, it could be something more legal and more like high stakes, and it could be something much more personal. But if you are unsure what move, let's just pretend we're in a chess move. It's kind of the equivalent of you playing a game of chess. Whatever it is, whatever the subject matter is about, is not the point. But if you're not sure your next move, it's the equivalent of like getting up from the table and being like, I need to take a break. So like, take the time you need to make decisions, especially the more important they are. Like, if you are presented with a big business opportunity and you're not sure because maybe there's logistics or trade-offs to you or your family, or you're just not sure, do not give an answer. And there's nothing wrong with letting people know, you know what? I need some time to think. Can you please give me another week? I need some time to really kind of digest this, or, you know, think this through. And it actually shows people that, one, that you're very thoughtful about anything you commit to. And what does that do? That actually makes them respect you more, because what you're saying is you're setting a boundary to say, I don't do things unless I am 100% sure about them, and I do them on my terms. And so it actually creates space and boundaries for you. And at the same time, people tend to respect you more. So if I was given a job offer and let's just say I'd have to move, let's pretend, or there's certain parts of the negotiation that don't sit well with me, then for me to just say, you know what, I need some time to think about this. And then what you can do is you take the time and then you're clear-headed and you're not in that like momentum of it all. And you can come back and say, okay, here's the thing. I like this job opportunity, but I'm stuck on A, B, C things. You know, what can we do to kind of meet in the middle? So for example, it's hard for me to drive all the way to the office every day. Can I have Monday and Friday remote? You know, as one example of like a part of the negotiation, right? Where you come back and you're clear-headed and you've been able to really pick apart all the pieces and understand the implications and just really digest them without reacting right away. And then like having time to like sort of just like critically think of it. Like, well, what could I do to make this work better for me? You know, and like really just being super thoughtful about where you put your time and energy and what you say yes to, and like not being in such a rush to like jump on every single opportunity all the time is super important. I think it's very different, especially when you're like, you know, you're green, you're 18 years old, you graduated high school, or you're in college and you're looking to build out your resume. Like there's a time and a place to say yes to absolutely everything, just to gain, you know, real experience. But I think once you're in a place where you have real experience and you really know your value, then you are 100% entitled to take your time deciding where you want to spend your time. And again, this goes to personal. Like, you don't need to say yes to everything. We were invited to something tonight, and I'm like, this sounds like it would be really fun. I like all the people. But then I'm looking at the timeline and it's like things don't start till like 6 o'clock. By the time we're out of there, it's going to be 10 or 11. The kids are going to be falling apart. And like, I just like don't feel like I want to be doing that right now. I just, for whatever reason, I'm just not in that space where I feel like I want to say yes to that. Like I do, but then I really think about doing it and I'm like, I don't actually feel like I want to force this. So look, that's why I'm saying, even for like my birthday, it's kind of like whoever comes, comes. This is what I'm doing. Hope to see you there, Jackie. If you can't make it, Shirley, I'll see you another day. Okay? And that's the vibe. So I hope that this helps you sort through something. I hope that it helps you realize like, oh, one other thing, like I'm hearing about certain friends of mine, they're chasing this person down to, you know, have social status. And it's like, that's so lame. Like you can't chase people, you know? And here's the thing about that. When you chase people for like social status, you have to understand you are signaling to every other person that knows you what you're doing. So what that does to your personal brand and reputation is like everybody around you is looking at this, they see what you're doing, and it lowers their respect for you because you're coming off as desperate. And like, ew, like I don't want friends that are like chasing status or whatever. Like that is not it. It's all about like what you bring to the table. Like, who are you in your character? Like, are you fun? Are you interesting? You know, do you make me laugh? Are you a solid friend? Are you ride or die? Like, what are you bringing to the table, right? And like, that's truly what counts. And so, I don't know. I hear this and it's like really not it. And I just want to caution you, just do not chase. Don't chase stuff. Don't force stuff. It's like you're not your best, and you don't need it. Like you don't need to do that. You're better than that. So I know I'm a little bit vague. Like I could go into so many more specific material details, but I'm trying to keep it general because I don't want to make it like about me. I'm trying to give you like a real tangible set of takeaways on like how to basically be awesome and how to level up and be cool and like be yourself and just be the best version of yourself. So I hope that this is something that you can really think about and like push yourself to digest and really apply to your own life. Like, is there something going on in your life personal or business, that you might be chasing. Oh, and here's the other thing. When you become aware of this, you will start to notice it around you. You will notice the people that are chasing and forcing, and you will notice the people that are not. And I'm telling you, you want to be in the cool people club. Do not be the person forcing things. Do not be the person chasing things. Never chase. Don't chase a man. Don't chase a deal. Don't chase the dollars. Do not chase. Be awesome. If you are awesome, you will truly attract it to you. Okay? So that's the whole secret. If you are truly awesome in who you are as a person and confident and just a rad person, you will never need to chase. If you feel you need to chase something, you should like look at that a lot closer. Like, why do I feel like I want to chase this friendship? What is that all about? Like, maybe that's telling you that that person actually isn't really that interested in being your friend, in which case you should be moving on and it's all good, right? So there's times where, you want to really assert yourself, but what I'm talking about is like, really don't force things, especially in light of like not being desperate. Like, you don't want to put that energy out into the universe and to other people. It's just not the vibe. The vibe is be cool, be awesome, be genuine, stay true to who you are, and people around you are going to be so drawn to that because you're real. And like, that's the way you want to roll. So this is kind of low-key a lesson in how to be like really cool without even trying to be cool. And the best part is you just get to be yourself, and that's exactly who you should be. And that's the entire essence of this podcast, is all about you embracing exactly who you truly are and just totally leaning into that and just be a bad bitch. Like, be who you are, lean into it, and like, know your worth. Know your freaking worth. That's what this is all about. So, okay, cool. This was like a good little session. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. And I will talk to you guys next week. All right. That is it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and be sure to follow us at Iconic Nation Media and send us a direct message and comment on some of our posts so that we can hear your feedback and incorporate them into our show. We appreciate you listening, and we look forward to catching you next week.